welcome Anil.
Today I want to tell you a little story. A story about a friend and I. But the focus of the story is to show you how I started to be selective of the ones I hung up with. In my life I had a lot of friends, a lot of good friends, and a lot of bad friends. But this in particular, this one is a good friend. And I'm saying this because he was the type of friend that he was always there. He was always there for me. He was always very attentive. He was always on top of my things. Very good perception. Very good advisor at all times, especially in the important things for me. Very involved and present in my life. That's why I said it was a good friend. And he would always tell me what to do. At a certain point in my life, I said, I was uncomfortable because he was telling me most of the things, what to do. And I would review the things that because he had a very analytical brain to see things through. And I'm talking about years and years ago, at a very early age in my life. And he had this special brain to see things with anticipation and come up with the best details and explanations about why I do the things that I should do. So after analyzing the things that I did because of him, then I would say, but he's right. I mean, I couldn't refuse that. He was always right. But the thing is that I got in the habit of listening to him too much because I trusted. I said like having a free advisor. And I would just say, well, but he's right at the end, so I'm going to follow the lead. It's Toastmasters and friends. I remember back in elementary school, I was a really talented soccer player. Very fan of sports, and I was really good. I joined a club. I was doing like inter-school tournaments, and I was doing it towards professional. And I was always, for some reason, wanted to aim for number one, whatever I did. I mean, you do a few things in your life, but the most important ones, the ones with passion, I think there's no reason why you shouldn't try to be the best at that, right? It's just to compete against yourself. So I wanted to be the best at that too. At a certain point, I reached a plateau where I just got confused. The plateau is usually at this time when you feel confused because there's a next level. You do your best, you climb, you get to a point where you reach the plateau, and you say, the plateau comes to tell you what's next and what are you going to do about it. There's some action needed there. This is what some people fall or then continue to the next level. Well, my friend came to me and said, well, maybe this is a signal. Maybe that's not for you. And you want to be number one, soccer is too crowded. A lot of good, big talents. I said, maybe that's the right call. Maybe going for my passion in this case was not the call. So I moved on. My second passion, which now is my first passion, the music. I wanted to be a rock star. I started playing bass very, very young. I remember listening in my parents' bedroom, this long plays, Elvis Presley, the Beatles. I used to play guitar with a tennis racket. And imagine a crowd in front of me. And I became a bass player, but then I wanted the limelight. So I said, I want to sing, really. And I was an okay singer. So I started singing. I joined some bands. We met some important people, and we were around just playing. And again, I reached this stage where I didn't know how to continue. My friend was there to tell me, listen, what are you doing to yourself? You can't be the best here. There's too many people and good talents, like making it in the music industry, man. You know. So I said, maybe he's right again. Maybe the music is not the way to go. Right now, I don't believe that because now, for example, Jennifer Lopez is number one. And I don't think she's that good singer. She's an okay singer. But the whole package is what makes her good. She trains. Yeah. She's an actress. She takes every time she gets up at 5 in the morning to go to gym. She sculpts her body. She has the whole package, and people want to buy it from that person, right? So now I know that. At the moment, I just decided to move on, and I just decided to collect some money, work hard, and save some money, and just I opened a store with a partner that I made. I was in business 2 years, doing really good. After 2 years, I decided to sell the business, and then I sit down to see the options. I was about to get a big loan and go to a high-end business. I was studying the options and really a little delayed. Then my friend came again. He said, look, he said, if everything you built all these years, all the money you saved, plus a loan you're taking, imagine that you have a bad 6 months. You lose it all, and then you're going to be 10 years starting from zero again. Why are you going to do that? You better just keep the money for backup, be safe, have a job, a little stable income, and just see what are the options. So I thought about it, and I did, of course. I just got a job and did that. And I remember also, when I was in high school, I met this girl. We had a very sweet love from very young. We were a few years together, and we really loved each other. But it was a struggle because we were very young, and she was rich and I wasn't, so that came a little bit of obstruction since we were young and the parents were in control of her side. So we broke up and I moved on in my life, but I never forgot. Years later, I decided to move out of the city. And I had this strong need to call her, to tell her, let's go away, to start a new life. My friend was there paying attention. He said, listen to me. Why don't you let that go? That's a struggle. There's a pattern of struggle there, no matter the circumstances now, but it's a pattern of struggle. You guys are going to seek for the way to find struggle again. Just start a new life. I thought about it, and it hurt me a lot, but I said, I got to let go of that. And I decided just to move out and move on with my life. So I did. And after a while in my life, I started to think about my life and all these things that my friend, that for some reason was preventing me from, right, or listening. I kind of felt dead inside. It's because I was not making the decisions to call myself. I was just relying on somebody to tell me what to do. I was relying on listening to somebody else, and I didn't make the call myself. So I understood at that point that I was missing on life because of that only. Because making decisions, even if I'm making a mistake or not, but when I find out and I become resourceful in how to solve that, is how I feel alive, right? That's how you feel alive, and not really getting somebody to tell you what to do and be safe in life. It's much better to feel alive by making the mistake and just going through the trial and just learning. And that's how you grow, actually. But I learned that afterwards. And I remember this, I'm going to quote this prophet from the 25th century before Christ, Jessilis Gaselis, when he said, be your own individual. And I decided to be that, be my own individual. And I had to let go of that friend. At a certain point in my life, I said, no more. I didn't want to talk to him anymore. Didn't want to listen to him anymore. Didn't want to look at him anymore. I just ignored him totally. Never again. Right now, I still see him. Over the years, I still see him around, trying to approach, trying to tell me things, tell me what to do. The difference is now that I don't listen. I don't care. I just do my own life. And I have accomplished a lot since I realized that I can just pick my own way, make my own mistakes, but I'm on track. Can you guess what my friend's name is?
Alter ego. Alter ego.
His name is, in case you just encountered him, is Fear. Mr. Toastmaster.